What is up, YouTube? This is Rob again, and I'm just reporting on a few things that I saw here today. Last night was a really interesting game that I needed to report on because had a few important concepts in life, as well as kind of some good moral lessons, kind of how you should handle things. Okay, so basically what happened is that Alabama defeated the University of Georgia for the SEC championship. Now, these championship games are not as important as, say, the national championship, but they do matter, especially, down south. It's a big deal. But what I saw was that, if you remember a year ago, the quarterback, Jalen Hurts, who had a very successful college career, was, if you remember, they weren't doing anything against Georgia's defense. And so Jalen Hurts, who played well all year except for that game, was benched for the now Heisman candidate, Tua Tongovalio. Okay. What happened last night was the exact opposite of scenario. So they were against the University of Georgia again. Tua Tongovalio gets hurt, and then Jalen Hurts comes in and throws for a touchdown pass and scores a touchdown run, okay? And this is why this is important. The story is important because after he got benched last year, there was a lot of talk that he would leave. But instead, what he did was he said, no, coach, I'm going to stay there. I'm going to tough it out, and I'm going to get as best as I can. So he worked on his passing game. And this is kind of goes to the whole thing of trust God's timing. Jalen Hurts acted like a true champion when he was benched last year. They even talked to him. The media talked to him. And if you remember, he handled it. He kept his head up. He handled it like a champion. Okay. He handled like a professional. What he did, which was so great and which I failed to do in my career in college, was he stuck with the adversity. He knew that the University of Alabama was the right program. He didn't act like a little baby because he got benched. He stuck with it, and then eventually his time came. Okay. Now, it talks about in the Bible, it talks about what I'm suffering with now because I'm so impatient. Trust God's timing. Okay. So the moral of the story is one, be patient. Two, if you go through adversity, if somebody says something negative to you or something bad happens to you, be patient, keep doing the right things, and eventually good things will happen. Now, it might take a month, a week, or in Jalen's case, it took a year. But whatever he did, he stuck with it and he was ready. Okay? Now, here's a polar opposite story. Kareem Hunt might be out of the league for the rest of his life because here, once again, in the NFL, we have a assault case, okay? So apparently this young woman called Kareem Hunt a derogatory name for a black person, which we all know, and which I don't agree with. I don't think that anyone should use that word in their language. It's a very bad word. It's a very negative word, but it is used daily, especially by black people. It's used daily. Regardless if you're white, black, Hispanic, whatever race, you should probably not use that derogatory word. And I'm the least PC guy there is. I mean, I'm definitely not PC. I'm definitely about free speech, but there's certain things that, regardless of how you vote, you should not use the word. Okay. And that's one of them. But anyways, regardless, and this is where it talks about using patience, using your mind. Instead of blowing her off, what he did was he attacked her physically. And I had a discussion with one of my buddies here. Sometimes in life, one, you have to pick and choose your battles. Two, if he were to take a step back and if he didn't do anything, he would have made that young woman look really bad. Okay, because she's in the wrong by using that word, and she'd be outclassed if he would have just stepped away. But instead, he took violent action. Now, I want everybody to listen to this. The way our society works, Doesn't matter how tough of a guy, how skilled of a fighter you are, the police are going to win, and you're going to go to jail, and you're going to have to go to court. Okay? That's just how it is. Okay, so the police have the monopoly on violence. You have to use things like speech, which is protected, which you can't go to jail for unless it's, I'm going to, blow up a building or something, okay? So moral story is trust God's timing, be patient with things, and always look to save face, always look to do the right professional thing because it reflects good on you. Keep your cool against adversity, okay? I just wanted to I want you guys, though, to really look up that Jalen Hurts story because now, again, I don't know what kind of person he is or anything, but it really is a cool story. It has a good moral to it. And as far as Kareem Hunt goes, regardless of what he was called, he screwed up. You got to use better judgment. He has more money-making potential than that woman ever would have had if he would just kept his mouth shut and walked away from that. So that's what you got to do. Other than that, I have some few book reports coming up. I'm reading The Big Short. I'm reading a couple other things. So stay tuned, and I'll just keep talking about life. And there you have it. Again, this is Rob checking out. You guys have a great day, YouTube land.